Yeah, without a doubt, tower is the place to be if you want a good oddball setup. You have access to throw the ball off the map. You have that wonderful high ground that you're always looking for. Good power position. You're able to spot out, if sniper comes up, if heat wave comes up, you're able to spot it out as Flippers down. Start the round on a tear, taking down 3 members of eDivided. Looking after it for that 4th. 4 go down for eDivided, and it seems Flippers down will be beginning this round 1 of oddball and live fire with that tower setup in their hands.
Nick Swagger TV with 3 kills already on the board, holding the sniper at the top of tower. Langsta Gangsta with the oddball, now collecting time, almost 20 points on the board for Flippers down as map control was obtained and control was carried out. Now 2, now 3 down again. eDivided seemed to be taking a fall, is able to slap that overshield on as he pushes towards this tower to try to get control away from this oddball and Flippers down team.
Yeah, Alex aims. I mean, a lot of chaos. Flippers down had that set up. I thought maybe eDivided would be able to use that lack of man advantage to take the OS for themselves. But Alex aimed on that Flippers downside with the OS in his hands, able to put it to good use. Now 3 kills and 1 assist for the man. Although now 3 members of Flippers down. Alex, the last member standing. See if he can maybe take back this setup. Holding the ball top tower here. Suppose he recognizes none of eDivided is there, so he's willing to continue playing for that time. And now both teams coming off the respawn, and now essentially a race for Alex aims here. His Flippers down teammates rush to his defense.
Yeah, and you see it, you called it great. eDivided there to try to contest, and both teams respond. Both teams move parallel to it, and it looked like eDivided took a fall. 2 players now down. Smooth roads have been paved here. 80-point lead in the first round of this oddball match. A great stick right on the crotch there of the enemy player. eDivided taking a fall, yet once again control is maintained. Now only a 2 versus 1 as Alex aims with the ball, is collecting still more points for his team. Only a few more seconds left for the confirmation of the first round win, and there you'll have it as Flippers down takes the first round win here at Oddball Live Fire.
And that last eDivided player, I mean, eDivided really needed to dive onto that oddball setup. Seems they only had 1 player really ready to do that. And that allowed Flippers down to really lock down that setup. Only 1 player made it really simple for Flippers down to protect that oddball carrier there. To give them an entirely uncontested round 1 victory. I believe that was 100-0. Yep. Flippers down in this round 2, already picking up where they left off as 2 fall for eDivided. This ball going the way of tower side. Squirts on eDivided, trying to put a stop to it. Gets an oddball to the face for his trouble. Now 2 divided for eDivided, for 2 down for eDivided yet again.
Yeah, you're just seeing the kills, the wins are being made there, and just shutting down any opportunity for eDivided to really kind of even touch the ball. They haven't even been able to get near it so far. Very, very strong performance and teamwork from the Flippers down team as they move into the second round with already 30 points, almost 30 points on the scoreboard as the second round win is underway.
Yeah, and Flippers down, I mean, just like last round, they have this oddball. It seems when that OS came up, you would think they'd maybe struggle to pick up that OS, but they left off that OS respawn. They left with it in their possession. Sark Ninja with that sniper. They had the heat wave earlier. It seems Flippers down not just have the map control, but they have all these power weapons in their hand. It's going to make it so difficult for eDivided to break this setup here.
Yeah, Sark Ninja, he's done really good. Another kill on the board for him right now with 9 kills, 4 assists, and 5 deaths. He is actually the highest killer and the highest deather. That's the thing on the Flippers downside. Now 60 points on the board, going for their second round win. This could be a shutdown. If they continue to maintain this pace and if they continue to maintain control, they will be able to shut down this first round win in this series of Contender Premade matches here on the Halo Rec League.
And that would be an absolutely dominant start for Flippers down in this best of 5 series to take both rounds entirely uncontested, but eDivided not going quietly, able to wipe down Flippers down, able to wipe out the setup of Flippers down. 3 fall, and now eDivided have got this tower set up in their hands for what I believe is the first time on this oddball live fire. Let's see what they can do with it.
That's exactly right. They were able to completely break what I exactly said. I was like, they could get shut down, and then they immediately prevented that from becoming a potential reality, collecting 20 points in their first run. They were able to throw the ball off to try to mitigate it from being picked up, but right there to grab it, Nick Swagger TV He's able to grab that and begin to collect more points for his team. Now only 35 points away from securing this victory.
And Nick Swagger TV, I mean, you talked about Sark Ninja having his fingerprints all over the kills and death. If you want to talk about fingerprints on that all ball, Nick Swagger TV, over 2 minutes of that all ball right now in these 2 rounds. As Flippers down, I mean, on the back of all those kills from Sark Ninja and all that. If your teammates of, if you're Langston Gangsta and Alex Ames, if you see your teammates in Sark Ninja and Nick Swagger having such dominant games, I mean, Sark Ninja and Nick Swagger just finally registering their first deaths after a dominant 22-6 start. I mean, you feel pretty good if you're their teammates right now. If you're eDivided, I mean, you've really got to try to survive. When you begin to lose these first teammates, you really got to go back and essentially start from zero. Wait for all 4 of those to respawn. Because right now, Flippers down are doing such a great job of predicting these spawns and washing out these remaining players when they only spawn 1, 2, 3 at a time. We see all 4 eDivided players finally come up, look to mount an attack against Flippers down, but pretty even right now, 3-2, I believe. Kills trading abound here, and while you're not too happy of kills being traded when you have such a dramatic lead, I mean, you kind of have to build up from being washed out to finally trading kills, to maybe taking this fight back into your own hands if you're eDivided.
That's exactly right. Yeah, knock the enemy off of their string of victories. And that's exactly what we just saw demonstrated. They're now 14. They were able to get 5 points here in just the last 45 seconds. So maybe that's the flip. That's the switch that needed to be flipped, where they can kind of turn on Dr. Killtacular taking a fall. Watch this scoreboard here as we see some shots from behind. 2 players now down on the Flippers side, but 1 down on eDivided. There's the positive trades that you're talking about that might help contribute to a little bit more of a wave that they can begin to ride. Unfortunately, he's caught now down. Look at this, another example of where they came out on top. Now 3 players down on the Flippers downside. They really, once you knock them off of that totem pole, it's much more difficult to climb back up and maintain the pace that you once were, where you were hitting those shots. You know, it's a mental battle really at that point, because you know you especially if the circumstance merits, like, you know, like where you're an upper hand, you're against the odds, and you come through, then it's like, ah, man, that guy's really, he's really putting it, like he's really trying hard and he's good. And then it's really difficult to come with, like, you know, an alpha approach as you retake that site. But right here we see it, 23 points, 23-38, reclaiming over double of their points. They were at 10 points here not just but a minute and a half ago. 24 now, still down by 15. It's going to be tough. 9 more deaths still left for the eDivided team before Flippers Down is going to be able to claim their second victory here in this series of pre-made contender matches.
Yeah, and just as you put it, Sozer, I mean, if eDivided are able to put together a couple of these good strings of possessions, I mean, it seems at this point they're going to need a perfect remainder of this game to come back. But if you're able to put in, you're able to start by putting in these good possessions, start to slowly win these battles. You can't, you let it be known to this Flippers Down squad that they can't just play alpha, they can't just wash everything out, they can't just recklessly push. However, I mean, Flippers Down willing to risk it all. They go, eDivided go 3 down. It's this Flippers Down push just too much for eDivided to handle. Now only 3 kills remaining.
Great boost there, as we saw, like, those little micro maneuvers sometimes are really what differentiates a good player with a great one. A perfect there on the board to finish it, as we see Flippers Down.
Just about loading into this next match here, and right off the start, following Troubled Tomatoes on that eDivided side, seems they're on that overgrowth side of the map. The Troubled Tomatoes definitely have that sword in your sights, but so does a player on Flippers Down. So they win that battle, and now Troubled Tomato with the sword in his hands, or no, abstains the sword to a teammate.
Got swiped from him.
Yeah. Oh, Dr. Killtacular trying
to... Oh, look at this!
Some Spider-Man action here for the flagpole. Get that last grapple to make it. He does. Sneaks behind. This player has no idea. Oh my goodness, a magic trick. That was that sword player.
He thought it was a no-clip, man. Really came out around the outside and surprised everybody, including me. That was
spectacular with a magic trick here on Catalyst. I mean, those are just some of the wacky shenanigans. I don't think any anyone, maybe even Dr. Kyotacular wasn't ready for the kind of effects that would have on a match. No flag pull. It seems Flippers down were able to lock it down. You know, surprisingly able to catch their breath after a surprising bit of Spider-Man action from Dr. Kyotacular. But it has given eDivided a bit of a foothold into this Flippers down base. As we see Flippers down trying to break into the base, they seem a little trapped.
Seem a little trapped. Alex Ames is about to move here. He has a little weapon in his pocket, a little device that would allow him to just poop right on any enemy he wants, but he's not going to use it. Look at this patience. He just instead pecks and is able to get the kill with a BR. He's going to grab this flag, and he looks like he's going to go for a mid push. The enemy team also is up top mid, and he knows it. He's going to take this skewer and get out of here. He's going to watch this flag there from the side. He tries to get a few shots on it. He doesn't want to overcommit. He wants to stay alive. Look at this. A very smart play here. He knew he was by himself, and that's exactly how an aware player who is playing alone can help mitigate deaths, and that, look at the opportunity he has now. He's grabbing the flag, 3 players down on eDivided. He's going to go for this grab, and he's going to make this. That was a great demonstration of how just not dying really kind of helped their team and helped the opportunity for him to make that grab.
Yeah, without a doubt, some incredible trigger discipline, and as you said, he had that skewer in his hand, he had that patience, was able to trust in his BR, and now eDivided, or rather now Flippers down, pushing this flag across that overgrowth side. Seems in that chaos, however, that eDivided have also made away with the Flippers down flag carrier just for a second. Seems he had that OS. We're gonna have some counter cap operations. I mean, these teams, oh, never mind, eDivided able to take the flag all the way home for their very first point. And as you mentioned earlier, this map can bring about a certain level of chaos, and eDivided have certainly capitalized it here to take the very first points of this match here.
Alex Ames briefly avoiding death once again as he used the repulsor to get just the amount of height in order to get away, and then with a well-placed nade down the front ramp. Oh, very, very low health. The flag did get dropped, and it's not, did it get dropped out of the map? It looks like it's just underneath. It did. It reset. The flag got dropped off the map. One of the risks of carrying it across top middle is just that if it falls at the brief, there's like right below the middle, there's a bridge, and between the bridge, there's a little gap. And if it falls through that gap, you and as well as any weapons and, you know, anything can fall off. And it looks like that's what happened there. First round, first point on the board for eDivided, as we're really waiting to see Flippers come to the table with what we've seen in the previous 2 matches. We have yet now, with 3 players down, once again, eDivided showing that they're strong and that they're consistently strong. Now waiting for this overshield with the skewer in hand, slaps the overshield on his chest and is going to push this side of the map. Goes for the no-scope, misses, but is able to avoid the grenade from the enemy, still keeping that overshield as he goes for this push. Reload that gun, makes this push up, goes for the melee, misses it, but is able to get it on the second try. Called it a reversal. I guess the enemy did damage to him first, but still taking that win. And now we're going to see the push here from Flippers down as they push toward the enemy base.
And yeah, I mean, it seems eDivided really relishing in the chaos, and Flippers down falling victim to it. We saw Alex Ames earlier running across that mid-bridge, dropping the flag off of the map. However, here 4 go down for eDivided, so the Stark Ninja here and the rest of Flippers down able to put out a last-second stand, and this may be the counter cap that they needed. Now so close to scoring that first point for Flippers down to tie the game. 3 go down for eDivided again. So it seems we're right back down to a neutral start, just about halfway through this game 3 on Catalyst. Certainly chaos on all sides, you know, flags going off of the map, players jumping off of the map with that grapple. But it seems maybe both teams finally are getting a bit closer to trying to figure out how to score here on this map.
Yeah, and this really could be the final round of the game. You see the top mid push as Flippers down, got 1 point to tie it out, now going for the second. They make the push all the way across the map, but their team does go down. And they unfortunately won't be there to touch the flag. It'll likely get returned, but eDivided on the counter grabs the flag to try to make this back across top mid. This is a top mid. Both flags are located in mid. If eDivided can get across here and return their flag, this could be another point in their favor. Unfortunately, it looks like they're not going to be able to make it all the way up top. The flag does go down in an awkward location, but still, he's able to touch it. Is Gus Chuggins as he puts the flag just to the base of the main ramp in eDivided's team. Langsta Gangsta on the answer as he grabs the enemy's flag, and now both flags away. This is a very, very interesting unfolding of this game. Just as you mentioned, the chaos is very abundant here in this game.
Yeah, the map begetting chaos, and both of these teams playing right into it as both flags were loose there. It seems that eDivided, seems both flags were returned. No, yeah, we're essentially back to a neutral game after a very chaotic minute and a half there. Gus Chiggins with that grapple in hand. He saw Dr. Killtacular bust out some Spider-Man moves. Seems to be going for it again. Maybe Flippers down. Doesn't seem Flippers down are ready for it this time. Way less players in the base. Players moving out. And Gus Chiggins may be in the base for 2. Oh, never mind. No, Flippers down. Yeah, they do not want any Spider-Man shenanigans. It seemed all 3 players turned around to put a stop to that. They did not want to. They stopped it the first time. They played really well. All 3 players turning around to ensure that didn't happen a second time.
Very interesting how it just takes 3 grapples and you can completely rotate around. He was able to collect 1 kill from it, so at least it was beneficial to some capacity, but unfortunately not able to grab the flag and progress forward when it comes to a points perspective. So really not forward moving from his overall goals, but really it was pretty cool to watch. Dr. Killtacular now as he pushes toward the eDivided team. He's trying to fend this person off, and unfortunately they're able to get away. Both flags are now away from their home base, still once again in the middle. This is literally the middle channel I was talking about earlier today. It's like you could just run the flag in a straight line, or you could run it in an entire maze. Either way you go. So the straight line, the path of least resistance, the closest distance between 2 points. Unfortunately, it's going to look like they're going to try to grab this. Yes, they're able to get that. Wow. Went for the return, almost got it, but we see Flippers down as Nick Swagger and Langsta Gangsta both with objective points as they have gained the lead here in this CTF match at Catalyst.
Yeah, an absolute scramble for that second point. The flag was so close to being capped, and yet despite being that close to being capped, I couldn't quite tell which way it was going to go. eDivided throwing themselves with the flag, Flippers down, able to remain steady and get that second point that gives them the lead. So crucial here with only 3 minutes left. The pressure is definitely on the side of eDivided now. As Flippers down, they have that flag in hand, maybe looking for a dagger of a flag cap here. Only 3 minutes remaining. This third point definitely forced eDivided to turn the heat up. They capture it with ease.
Amazing performance there. Nick Swagger, look at it. 2 points on the board. He's focused, and he has his teammates' support, and they're able to capitalize on the moment. Guardian Angel protecting his teammate right there. 2 players down on eDivided side. Wow. All players now down. They're going to run and grab this. They're going to run and grab this flag. And that's exactly why it's really strange that it says revealed sprinting, but he wasn't actually carrying the flag at the time. Another live service update feature that proudly provided to you by our folks over at Microsoft.
My goodness, a pretty chaotic last couple of minutes here. The eDivided flag being pulled yet again by Flippers down. We'll see if it's actually able to get across. I believe in that mid-bridge area. The Flippers down flag is now pulled. Chaotic down to the very last minute. Flippers down maybe getting the only clean, maybe quiet flag cap of this entire match. Gus Chiggins on eDivided, trying to clear out this base here, maybe continue to push that flag forward. Those last 2 players on Flippers down, playing so well as a tandem, however, to stop that from happening. It seems these last second assaults eDivided are putting together are not working just yet, and with only 2 minutes remaining, I mean, they've really got to sharpen up and sharpen up fast if they want a chance to go to this game 4.
Dr. Killtacular going down once again, and as Troubled Tomato pushes up, he is putting shots on the back of one of the Flippers down team. He takes him down. Skarkinja takes a fall, and now it's still looking like these final minute and a half of this game, minute and 45 seconds of this game. eDivided is going to have to come back and get 2 points in order to mitigate this loss. If Flippers down collects this victory by just staving off points for the next minute and a half, then they're going to collect this round win. This will be the 3rd and final round of tonight's series match as Flippers down will take the victory. Look at this flag run straight across mid. It's going, and it's gone. He's out there, and he's going to rush this. It's in the base, and he's coming very close with this capture. Very, very close, and he is able to get it. 4th point on the board as Flippers down, really setting the tone and getting a very, very proud and dominant lead here in this CTF match at Catalyst.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, earlier in the game, both teams reveling in the chaos, but Clippers Down definitely seem a bit more locked in with these final flag caps. We saw them taking down eDivided entirely, 4 down for eDivided, able to run that flag in almost, I mean, virtually uncontested. As, I mean, we're back to this neutral play, kills trading back and forth, eDivided trying to get into the space, but they'll essentially have to be entirely perfect if they want a chance to send this game to OT, let alone to try to win the game at that 5th point.
It's a very, very uphill battle at this point with only 25 seconds left on the board for eDivided. As they see their defeat in the horizon, it's looking like the Flippers Down is going to shut it down without even waiting out the timer as they get their 5th and final point on the board.